guys, welcome back to Charmaine's Kitchen. I want to say good night to one, good night to all. Hope you guys are doing well. If you are visiting my channel for the first time, I want to say welcome to my channel. Today I will be sharing a recipe for fish stew or stew fish, however way you call it. Like I said, this is the first week of January and we are trying to stay away a little from meat, but I'm gonna share a very different recipe for fish stew with a lot of veggies in it. So if you come on down, we can do this together. So for today's fish stew, I'm using trout and I'm gonna season it in a minute, but I just want to show you all the ingredients that I'm gonna be using to make this fish stew. I have here 1 whole carrots, and these are the vegetables I'm gonna be using. I have a head of bok choy, and I know a lot of people are gonna think, oh, bok choy in stew, but remember I said this is our veggie week, so I try to sneak in as much veggies as I can in all the dishes that I'm making this week. I have 1 tomato. I'm gonna add 2 potatoes. I have here a few stems of fine thyme. I like to use this in my stew. I have 4 heads of green onion. I have 2 cloves of garlic, and I have 2 small onions. I have a hot pepper, but I'm gonna use about 1/4 or half. Depends on when I cut it. I'm gonna tell from the smell. And for the fish, I'm gonna start seasoning this with some salt. First thing of all, I'm going in with a teaspoon of salt. We wanna make sure that this has flavor. And I'm gonna go in with a teaspoon of black pepper. And so I'm gonna put that in here. This is gonna help to add some flavor as well. And I'm gonna add some green seasoning. And my green seasoning is made up of garlic, green onions, pepper, and thyme. I'm gonna be doing a recipe for my green seasoning soon. I don't have one on my channel yet, but I always mention what I have in my seasoning. So I'm gonna be adding into here 3 tablespoons of green seasoning. I want to season up this fish well. And I don't know if I mentioned I have pepper in there, but I always add some pepper too because that adds flavor. Sometimes I make my green seasoning ahead of time, and sometimes I just do it right away while I'm doing the video. So I'm gonna mix this up, and I'm adding 1 pack of Sazon seasoning as well, and this is gonna add some flavor because this one have the annatto powder. It has some roasted garlic and some cilantro, so this adds a nice flavor to stew, and plus a beautiful color on the fish. So I'm gonna season this well, and I'm gonna fry the fish before I make the stew, and I will show you guys the next step. So here's the fish, and look how beautiful the color is, nice, and the color change. So what I'm gonna do, I have in a plate here some flour, and I just lined the plate with a parchment paper. So when I'm done, I'm just gonna garbage everything. I'm just lightly dusting these, and then I will fry them. My oil is ready, so I'm gonna fry these until they're nice and golden brown, and then I will be putting the stew together. So the fish is frying up nicely, and these cook about 2 minutes or so more, and then I will take them out. But look how beautiful they look. It looks so nice. So I'm gonna, after I finish repeating this step for the other batch, I will show you how I put it together. So guys, my 2 potatoes that I'm gonna be adding into the stew, I like to fry it up a little in the oil that I fry the fish. And again, you guys might say, well, you never see this before or why I'm frying it, but when I'm making the stew, you add these into the stew, it's gonna be pre-cooked and easier for the potato to boil. And this is a different way I find doing it. This was a way taught to me by my brother-in-law, who's a very good cook, and I find that it works perfectly well. The potato, when you add it to the stew, is so nice and flavorful, and you don't have to do yours this way. You can leave it out, but just sharing my tips with you guys today. So here I have my plate of goodness. I have the fish fried and look nice and brown. I can just grab a plate with some ketchup and pepper and have them just like that, but I have to make this stew tonight. And I fry the potatoes up a little. I have some tomato paste. I have my tomato cut up, my onions. I have my thyme, carrots, and my bok choy. I just cut them in half, like one leaf in half. The small one I leave just like that. So I'm gonna put this together in my pan here. I just have about half a teaspoon of oil. You can barely see the oil in the pan. So now I'm gonna start putting everything together. So the first thing I'm gonna go in with is my onions, and the oil is hot. So I put all the onions in here. You just wanna get a spoon. And so I'm gonna let my onion fry up a little, and I'm gonna add the top part of the green onions in here because that's a little bit harder than the bottom part, which is like the white stem part of the green onion. And on the bottom leafy green part, I'm gonna add closer to the end. And I wanna add all my tomatoes now. So I'm gonna add that here. And I'll add my thyme at this point. You can take them off the stem, but sometimes I leave them with the stem because the stem has flavor as well. And then after you cook it, all the leaves will fall off and you just take out the stem at the end. If you don't like that way, please go ahead, feel free to take them off. And I'm gonna add a little bit of salt because that's gonna bring out some water from the tomatoes and the onions. So about 1 teaspoon of salt. And then I'm gonna add about 1 teaspoon of black pepper. And we're gonna give this a turn. And I'm gonna add some, actually I'll put in all of the pepper in here. And I'm adding that hot pepper because when I cut it, it didn't smell too hot, so I add the whole thing. And some tomato paste at this point because my onion is translucent. So I'm gonna add my tomato paste, and this is where I go in with 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. So I have one here, and I'm gonna add another one now. And I'm gonna give this a stir. And I have my my 2 cloves of garlic. What I like to do is grate my garlic into the mixture. So I'm gonna grate this garlic. And guys, everybody cook differently. There's a lot of different ways to prepare fish stew, but this is my version. So now I'm gonna add some water, and I have right beside this pot some water warming up. I like to add hot or warm water to my cooking so it don't slow down the process. And I'm just gonna add this now. And I'm gonna add about 2.5 cups of water. And I'm gonna go in with another pack of Sazon because this have a color, but I want it to have a richer color. And you can taste the liquid at this point. to see if you need to add more salt or you need to add anything else. So I'm gonna add one more pack of Sazon into the liquid. And Sazon bring out a very nice flavor for stew because they have that roasted garlic and the annatto and cilantro flavor, which adds another depth of flavor for stew. It adds color as well, and cilantro is also the annatto is a natural food coloring as well. So this is looking nice for me. And I want to add my carrots because these takes a little bit longer to cook. So I'm gonna add that now. I'm not gonna add my bok choy yet. If you have green peas and all any other vegetables that you like to add, you can go ahead and add it right now. But before I cover this up, I'm gonna add a little bit of Chinese 5-spice powder, and I'm gonna go in with just about a half a teaspoon. I find this give the stew a very, very nice flavor. So I'm gonna cover this and let it start simmer down for a little before I add the rest of my ingredients and the fish and all that. So we'll come back as soon as I give this about 2 to 3 minutes and let you guys know what's the next step. So let's check how this is doing, and it's cooking up vigorously. I love the color that I'm seeing, and I know I have to taste this because if I need to add anything else, I would have to do that now. So I'm gonna just taste this quickly. Wow, perfect flavor. So something in me that every time I cook stew, I have to add a little tiny pinch of sugar. When I say a pinch, I mean 1 pinch, and this is brown sugar, just to add a little bit of sweetness to this. I know some people add ketchup and different things to sweeten, but I just put a little pinch of the brown sugar. And this is where I'm gonna add my fish now. I'm gonna put my stove on medium, and I'm gonna start adding these fish to suck up some of that nice liquid that I seasoned well. And I'm just gonna leave it on medium for like 2 minutes so everything can marinate in, and this is gonna be ready. Tonight I'm serving this with some sada roti because I like to make stew with sada roti because it have more thickness to absorb all the juice and the flavors from this. And I'm gonna I do have a recipe for sada roti already on my channel. I'm not gonna show the entire video. I'm just probably gonna show a little clip of how I'm just cooking or rolling it off. And this is my pot of goodness. If you notice, it looks like I have a lot of food here. So for some of my viewers and subscribers, I do have enough for you. And I'm gonna have to find a way of squeezing in my potatoes. And this is the reason why I pre-cook the potato, because I'm not cooking this for too long now. I'm just gonna leave it in for a few minutes just so that fish can get this gravy liquid absorbed in, and the potato is gonna be ready in that time. And I will add my bok choy at this point. It looked like a full pot, but that's okay. This is gonna wilt away and turn to nothing. We won't see it back. It's gonna get lost in here. But this is another sneaky way of getting some vegetables in your any dishes that you make. And this dish is so versatile that you can add any vegetable in it. So many things you can add, but today this is what they see. My pot can't hold anything else, so I'm gonna cover it now on medium and leave it to cook for about 2 to 3 minutes for those potatoes to get softened up a little bit more, and then it will be ready. So look at that beautiful roti, guys. So this is what we're having. I like to use this with the stew because it's fluffy inside, and this is gonna absorb all that liquid. So this is looking amazing. I had it on medium heat. I'm gonna turn the stove off. We don't want the bok choy to cook too much. We're just steaming that in there. and everything look like it's perfectly cooked. I'm gonna finish my roti and then I'll plate up and show you guys how this look. But isn't that a good looking fish stew? So guys, here is my beautiful fish stew. I'm gonna put the rest of the green onion on top, and I'm gonna add some extra cilantro on top for extra flavor. And I like to put a cilantro in fresh, but this is how it looks. And I'm gonna plate up. My roti is still cooking and you guys will know how it tastes soon. So here is my stew fish and it's looking beautiful. I love the color. I have a little bit of carrots, potatoes, my bok choy, and a piece of fish, and I have my garnish. And today the reason I like to eat it with sada roti, or this is like a flat bread, because you can nicely get all your gravy into this, and it's so nice to eat it with this because it absorbs all that juice and gravy. So no, I have to get piece fish for you guys. So in here I'm gonna get piece of fish and potato, and look how soft the potato is. And I'm gonna take a huge big mouthful. Cheers to all my viewers and all my subscribers. So good, guys. It's so rich in flavor. Oh my god. And very spicy because that pepper really comes through. The flavor of everything that I add in here. That garlic at the end. And the flavor from the Sazon is really coming through. And in here we have potato, a mixture of everything. If you don't feel like having the fish, you can always have the potato, the carrots, the bok choy, and the gravy is so rich. You can even eat this with rice, but I made roti today and look how nice the roti is done. So if you like this video, guys, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Until then, I'm going to be enjoying my plate of fish stew. Stay safe, stay blessed. Bye for now.